All right, hi guys. I'm gonna go ahead and prep some ingredients here for some fried chicken that I'm making. But in with the chicken thighs that I've got, I'm gonna put some green onion, some jalapeno, some red onion sliced. I've got thyme and bay leaf garlic, and I've got some maitake mushroom here. So these are pretty good little frondy things. I think they'll take up the marinade nicely. Got a hunk of lion's mane. I'll probably break up a little bit. I got some big chunks of shiitake too. So these are a little bit tougher than I want them to be, but I'm gonna kind of slice them into strips, and I'll put it all into the buttermilk marinade with a whole bunch of porcini powder, which will bring a really nice savoriness. And then I'll cover it in buttermilk and hot sauce and let it rip. So I'm gonna marinate it probably in the fridge for about a day, and then I'm going to sous vide it for a couple hours so it'll get nice and tender. And then I'm going to dredge and fry it. And so this is sort of my method for making fried chicken. It does take a little bit of work, but you know what? Fried chicken always takes some work. And when you sous vide it, you take away all the guesswork about getting your chicken cooked properly. So I really like that, because I have definitely tried to make fried chicken before and screwed it up. And it's really frustrating when you go through all the work of trying to make fried chicken and you screw it up. So this is my sort of like idiot proof method for making fried chicken. And the thing I'm going to do here is just mix together a couple of random hot sauces I had in the fridge. So a little bit of Red Hot, boom, rest of that bottle. I'm just trying to use some stuff up here. I have this sort of fancy hot sauce my cousins gave me, Camille Desjardins. It's a guy up in Ontario, I think in Ottawa, but this is Scotch bonnet, habanero, cayenne, onions, rosemary, citrus, garlic, papaya, and lemongrass. So this is a really fun hot sauce. It's gonna bring some nice heat to the party, and I'm just gonna use, I'm gonna use the rest of it. Boom, there we go. Okay, so also gonna mix in a pretty healthy amount of porcini powder here. I'm not going to be shy. I want lots of that mushroom, good mushroom flavor. I'm going to just mix this around a little bit, try to get the stuff kind of incorporated. I think what I'll do is get all my marinade kind of mixed and stuff, and then I'll put the chicken pieces and the mushrooms and everything in here to get it kind of nicely coated in the bowl, and I'll pack it all into a bag in the fridge to marinate. And that bag will probably also be the same one that I go ahead and sous vide in. So I also need, I need some pepper. Get that going. You gotta remember the salt. I just used all my salt in something, so I gotta get a little bit of fresh salt here. This is a crappy pepper grinder, so it takes friggin' forever. I'm very ready to be done with this thing, but there's still some pepper in here, so I want to keep using it if I can. Okay, and there we go. So let me grab my salt so I don't forget. So I got enough salt to cook a fair amount of chicken and all these mushrooms. So I'm gonna go pretty big on the salt here. Of course, when I cook this, I'll get a chance to add some more salt through the breading, but I just want to make sure that sort of the base marinade has enough seasoning in it to really carry stuff. I'm going to use just a little bit more buttermilk. Pretty much used up all the buttermilk I needed. I made some cornbread earlier, so this I can just devote the rest of the buttermilk to this. But I'm going to be putting a lot of things into this marinade, and it doesn't need to get too crazy. So let me just add some aromatics here. So I've got a couple of green onions. I'm just gonna nip the base off and probably cut them in half. So I'll toss that in. We've got some thyme and some bay leaf. Give that a quick rinse. Should be pretty clean coming out of the garden, but we'll toss that in. I've got 1 clove of garlic. I'm gonna go ahead and just do a quick smash. Toss that in here. Probably not really going to do that much, but you know, add a little bit of garlic flavor. Boom, garlic in. Go ahead, add a red onion here. So I'm going to sous vide this probably at about 145 degrees is kind of what I like to do chicken thighs at. And that may seem low for chicken. But what I want you guys to remember is when you sous vide stuff, it cooks for quite a bit longer than you normally would cook other things. So while the FDA says you have to cook chicken to 165 to kill foodborne illnesses and pathogens, that's only 165 for like 30 seconds. If you hit something to 140 or 145 for like an hour or two, all those pathogens are dead. So my chicken at a lower temperature is just as safe because I'm going to be holding it at that lower temperature for much longer. And that allows you a chance to get really, really tender, delicious chicken thighs too, that haven't been overcooked. And then when I go to fry them, all I have to do is basically get the breading crispy. And so I really like this method of cooking because it again takes away all the guesswork, and you really can't screw it up, which is nice because you know you're making dinner for people and you don't want anyone sick and you don't want to serve overcooked chicken. And so this is kind of my perfect solution in some ways. I mean, nothing's perfect, but you know, it works. Functionally, it's quite easy to basically have a bunch of pre-cooked chicken in a bag, and all you got to do is take it out and give it a little dredge and fry. It takes a lot of the guesswork and just the work out of making fried chicken in general. So, okay, I'm gonna pop this jalapeno in. I'm just gonna give it a quick slice in half and drop it in. Be very careful not to touch your eyes after touching jalapenos. I did that like a week or two ago and felt really dumb. Here's a quick wash. Ooh, I got some cornbread in the oven. It's starting to smell real good. Yum, yum, yum. Okay, so we're gonna go ahead and I'll just drop big pieces of these mushrooms in. Move this up so you can see what I'm doing a little bit better. Sorry about that. Okay. There we go. Sorry. Wasn't paying attention to what I was doing. You guys aren't getting the best view. But here you go. Here's my mushrooms. I'm just going to break them into big chunks. Toss them in this marinade. Boom. And of course you could do this vegetarian if you want. You could do just the mushrooms. You don't have to put the chicken in. But, you know, I like eating everything. So nice big chunks of the lion's mane. I'm going to keep it kind of big chunks because it'll fry it better like that. So I'm going to cut my shiitake into big three panel chunks like this. This is four pieces of shiitake. There we go. So do these. I'm trying to, you know what? I'm going to just add the rest of the buttermilk here. So we have plenty of liquid. A tiny bit more hot sauce because, you know, why not? Get some more spice in there. This will be plenty spicy. And I'm gonna add more porcini just because I'm not gonna be shy. More salt. Boom. Okay. So here's all my mushrooms and buttermilk and herbs and aromatics. So this is all nicely incorporated. Now I'm going to go ahead and put on a glove because I'm going to be working with raw chicken. It's always a good idea to have an extra layer of safety and protection around when you're working with raw chicken, just to kind of make yourself more aware. And so the general plan is take my chicken, get it mixed into the marinade, and then I'm going to drop it all into a Ziploc bag over here and then let it sit in the fridge. And the buttermilk will help to tenderize the chicken over the next day or two. This is, you know, these are boneless, skinless chicken thighs. You could and should do this with bone-in chicken thighs, but I'm being lazy because I want to just pull this out of the fridge. Well, I'm going to put all of this in the bag directly into sous vide, and then I will sous vide it and take it directly out of the fridge and just put it, take it out and dredge it and fry it. So I'm trying to kind of keep the work of having to deal with bones and stuff to a minimum. Okay, so maybe I should have gotten 2 gloves. I'll try to use my, yeah, just get this all coated. So this chicken is gonna marinate and brine and tenderize, and I've got all these delicious aromatics and mushrooms and veggies and stuff in here. So hopefully I can kind of just make this all work. So I think what I'll start doing is probably just try to start loading up my my bag here. Try to not splash too much raw chicken buttermilk stuff around, but I've got everything coated. So I'm just gonna go ahead, oops, I'm already making a mess, so that's good to know. I gotta clean off the outside of this bag. Okay. Try to keep you guys on camera here, see what I'm doing. Oop, yeah, I am making a mess. I'll have to clean up my whole board here because I've got raw chicken juice all over everything. C'est la vie. This is, you know, could have guessed this might happen. Okay. Okay. I also wonder if maybe I should do this in 2 bags, but I'm gonna try to get away with just 1 bag. Oh God. I am spraying chicken buttermilk all over my kitchen. Whoopsie daisies. Okay. So we've got all our stuff here. I'm gonna go ahead and just pour our buttermilk marinade into here. All that good porcini and hot sauce and herbs and all the other good stuff. So boom, in we go. Okay, put that in the sink. Hose off. Oops. Yeah, so I'm gonna have to do a very thorough wipe down here in my kitchen because I've got buttermilk chicken juice all over the place, and that's bad news. That's salmonella and potential for bad things. I think this is probably pretty good chicken. I bought this from a local market with really good butchers, and so I'm pretty sure they're doing things safely, but you never know. Always be very cognizant of food safety when working with raw chicken because it can have salmonella. And the interesting thing is, like, salmonella is not a huge issue on chicken in other parts of the world. It's just a big issue in America because of the way that we use antibiotics. So because we use so many antibiotics in our chicken, it changes the chicken microbiome to make salmonella a bigger part of the chicken microbiome. So in other countries, salmonella is in chicken, but it's not a organism, and it's only here in the United States where we have so many issues with salmonella poisoning from chicken. So that's part of why in like Europe and Asia and a few other places they eat raw eggs all the time. They have no issues with it. It's not to say that salmonella doesn't exist there and outbreaks don't happen. It's just I think it's far less common because they don't do the same kind of like massive factory farming of chickens where we just feed them antibiotics to keep them healthy because they're grown in very close quarters. And I don't know, the whole way that chicken is grown in this country really kind of grosses me out. That's part of why I don't eat a lot of chicken, despite the fact that I do love fried chicken. It's very, very good. But I do try to buy my chicken from slightly more responsible places. I'm just trying to get the outside stuff cleaned off here so I don't make a mess. And I'm also gonna, when I put this in the fridge, I'm gonna not trust this bag not to leak. I'm gonna go ahead and put it in a secondary container. Just push this whole thing down. So. And the other thing I may do, because I've learned from experience that as good as these Ziploc bags are, they do occasionally leak. And I'm going to be putting this in a water bath, and I don't want it to leak in my water bath. So I'm going to try to put this in another bag, double bag this guy. So I know it's a horrendous waste of plastic, but I'm trying to be all in the name of food safety and that kind of thing. So boom, there we go. Okay, so we're double bagged, and that'll go into the sous vide tomorrow. But here's all of our chicken and mushrooms and veggies and all the good stuff in there. Yeah, I got some cornbread working. I'm gonna make some gazpacho. I got a few other cooking projects, but I just wanted to show you guys what I was doing with this chicken. So cheers. Hopefully you'll see the end product on Instagram. Bye.